Alright, we should be working right now. A little bit of technical difficulties with the stream key. While we were away, Gator put it on provisional pole with a 107.5. Razor right behind him, 107.56. A lot of 107s in this lobby, which is a lot different than the D3 race. There were some 109s in there, which we got in here. We got Drip posting 109, but that's his banker lap. So I'm expecting a lot of fast times today. Maybe we'll get into the 107 2s, 3s, hopefully. I know a lot of these guys have a lot of pace. And so we're going to hop on Blitz right now, who I think is... I don't know if he's going for another hot lap. He may be coming into the pits. No, he's staying out. Let's see if he can improve that time. Or he may be starting a new hot lap. As Sid goes 107.8. A lot better than his... Oh, no. Sorry. I misread that. It was Josh Barnes that jumped up. As Blitz is encountering a little bit of traffic, trying to get that toe into Sector 2. Cooler Peter jumping out of the way right there. We're going to stay on board with Blitz right now. As he tries to get on provisional pole. He's within like a tenth and a half. In range for sure. You know, all these guys have a shot at pole, I think. Some really, really fast guys out there. He's coming into Sector 3. Get on the power early. And bring it home. Let's see where he ends up. Pulling it tight to the line. Closest line to the line. He goes provisional pole, 107.3. That's super, super fast. 0.2 faster than P2. Mega lap from him. As we hop on board, we're going to hop on board with Ranger actually as he passes Blitz into Sector 1. We're starting into Sector 2. That corner right there is super hard to get. So is this next one right here. He's trying to jump into the top 5 right now. Definitely has the capabilities. It's within 0.3. Oh, I just jinxed him. That's on me, Ranger. I apologize. Won't happen again. So we're gonna hop on board with BuzzGod right now, as he, I believe, is on a hot lap. And you know, right now, everyone in this lobby is chasing that 107.3 that Blitz set just a couple minutes ago, 2 or 3 minutes ago. And I believe a couple drivers in here have a shot to break that, even Blitz himself. I believe Gator, Razor, Prison Mike, Sid, Zebra, Ethan Patel, and you know, others that I haven't named. A lot of those guys have a shot at breaking that for sure. Really, really fast guys in this lobby. Anyways, BuzzGod comes to the line, trying to keep it tight. Oh, he dives into the pits. Was not on a hot lap. So we're gonna go on another guy that I talked about just a couple seconds ago, Ethan Patel, Technic Speedy. As he goes out there to set his first time. And he goes a 108.1. So pretty good banker lap. He can go a lot faster. I was talking with him yesterday. We were in a chat with another D3 now D2 driver as well, Siggy. And they were feeling confident coming to this race. So I'm assuming that extends the qualifying. So I'm going to assume we're going to see Siggy get in that P10, P5 range as he continues this qualifying. 8 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. Blitz still P1, Gator P2, Razor P3, Raptor P4, and Zebra Strike P5. Prison Mike and Sid are 2 I think you should look out for. Super, super fast, and I won't be surprised at all if they put it on pole or, you know, get into that top 5. We're going to hop on board with Siggy right now. Siggy comes to the line, trying to improve on that 110. And he does. He goes a 108.6. You know, Siggy, he's the championship leader right now in Division 3. He didn't have a great race yesterday. Didn't have a good qualifying yesterday either. So he's hoping to improve on that. Hoping to gain a little bit more confidence as we head into the next round of Division 3. But yeah, he's leading the Division 3 championship right now. So I'm hoping he's going to make Division 3 proud. Same with... Is there... No, I messed that up. I thought... Oh, never mind. He is here. It's Cushy. Cushy has also been in Division 3s. He's been doing very well in these past couple races. We can hop on board. He's super, super fast. And he's qualified pretty well in Division 3, but I think his racecraft outshines his qualifying pace. We're going to see that, I hope. Hope he breaks into the 107s. I think it's definitely possible. He's a fast guy. As he comes up to the line to jump to P13, jumping over Connor and Technic Speedy. So he barely misses out on the 107s, 10th and a half off. Definitely think he can do it if he really pushes it. He may not want to, you know, risk it if that's within his range. But he's definitely a fast driver out during the race. We're gonna hop on board with the Cooler Peter as he conquers Sector 1. And the two AlphaTauri boys are sitting back in P19 and P20. It's not what you want to see from the AlphaTauri. But those guys are pretty consistent, pretty good. So I expect those times to drop as well. As Cooler Peter lets those go by. Oh, almost hits Razor. That's not good. Luckily, Razor was on an outlap. We're going to hop on board with the Zebra. Haven't given him a lot of camera time yet. He's a fast driver, so I expect him to get a little bit more in the race. I've been saying that about a lot of these drivers. They're fast drivers, but that's just the truth. You know, Division 3, there's a lot of it's very top heavy, so I'd say the top 7 or 8 are pretty fast drivers. But then it dwindles down a little bit. But when you get into Division 2 and in Division 1, you know, 1 through 20 are pretty fast. You know, it may not be anyone's game out there, but it certainly isn't only a couple. You know, you can expect to see the top 10 all have a chance. Really, top 15 all have a chance to win in Division 2. So I'm excited to see what the race holds. 4 minutes left in qualifying. We're going to hop on board with BuzzGod once again. Hopped on board with him earlier in the stream when it wasn't working, as we saw him put up a 108.4. Again, I apologize for those technical difficulties. You know, sometimes, you know, things just don't want to work out. Really bizarre. But as he goes through Sector 1, he's just waiting. He's going to be gearing up for a hot lap pretty soon. And as he does that, we're going to go hop on Sid. Who's going to be coming up to him if he's pushing hard. Let's see if Sid can get a little bit of this toe from Cole Cummins. As Cole just dips out of the way. Hopefully he didn't encounter any dirty air from that. Threw him off, maybe a 10th or 2, I don't know. I hope he didn't. But Sid, 107.8, I mean. I definitely expect him to drop that down. As the top 10 are all in the 107.8 or belows, with P1 being 107.3. And that's just super, super fast. You know, a lot of the top 10 in that Division 3 race yesterday, they were in the 108s. And so that just goes to show the difference. As Sid just locks up there a little bit. Hope he didn't lose too much time off of that. He's going to go in wide, start this lap. As Blitz, Gator, and Razor is still holding on to P1, P2, and P3 for this qualifying. Raptor in P4, Zebra in P5, Prism Mike P6. And off camera, Dominion jumped from P19 to P17, leapfrogging Siggy and Buzzgod to go a 108.2. Speedy's getting pushed down the order more and more as he's now in P17. We're gonna hop on board with him right now. I fully expect him to break that 108 mark. We've got 2 minutes left in qualifying. So these drivers are coming out, they're getting their laps in, they're starting their new hot laps. Their final hot laps, I mean. As Siggy is in P13, pretty good for Division 3 driver, as he last night's qualifying in the division. Oh, once again, that's the second time this qualifying that I've jinxed somebody by saying I fully expect them to do something. I think it first happened to Ranger, and then it happened to Speedy. I apologize, you two. But as I was saying, Siggy, P13, now P14. As we're going to hop on Drip just real fast, and he goes 108.2. Siggy didn't have a great qualifying yesterday. He's already dropped 2 seconds from his qualifying yesterday, from a 110 to a 108. So yeah, he's doing much better tonight than he was last night. I hope it's not the third person I jinxed tonight. I'm rooting for him. As Blitz still on, and once again, I think that was Ethan. No, there's Drip. Spun out a little bit. Is Blitz going to extend his provisional pole? Oh, wow. I'm just on fire tonight. We're going to hop on board with Prison Mike then. As Raptor goes a 107.1. Wow, that's super, super fast. Just rapid. 107.1. That's just crazy. I don't know if people can beat that. I was expecting pole to be 107.2, like 107.2.5, 107.25, 103. So I really don't know. As Prison Mike goes into the pits, that'll end his qualifying. So Raptor, I think Raptor might put it on pole. As Blitz starts his final hot lap, final chance at sticking it to pole. He may have just, as Blitz and Zebra Strike just hit each other, Blitz runs right into the back of him, ending both their qualifyings. Blitz trying to go on pole, just traffic in the way, just some things you just can't do anything about it. His lap was going to be ruined either way, no chance to improve. And you don't want to take another driver out like that, but I do understand the frustration of that. As the Cooler Peter just dives it right into the pits. Let's see, where's Ranger going to end up? I don't want to jinx Ranger for the second time this qualifying, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut until he hits the line. And he jumps Connor to go a 107.7 to hit P9. Pretty good from him. You know, all things considered, there's a lot of fast drivers in Division 2. A lot of fast drivers in that top 10. You know, Sid, who's rapid, is P11. Josh, super fast. Ethan Patel, super fast. You know, all those guys super fast. And so if you're just slightly off your usual pace, you're going to drop down the order pretty fast in these upper divisions, the Division 1 and Division 2. You know, we got drivers in the wings just ready to pounce. And that's just what they're going to do. As qualifying for the Division 2 round of the Brazilian Grand Prix for Zoom Racing League ends, we're going to see who it is. It's Raptor on pole, Blitz P2, Gator P3, Razor P4, Zebra Strike P5, Alex, Prison Mike, and the Cooler Peter, round 6 through 8. Ranger, Connor, Sid, and Josh go 9, 10, 11, and 12. As Snoop Francis, Cole, and let's see who has after Cole. Ethan Patel, Siggy, Quishy, Dominman, and Buzzgod, and Drip. So the Alpha Tower boys, they got out of that last place 1-2, but unfortunately they did finish out the last place podium of 18 and 19, or 18 and 20, sorry. That's just not what you want to see from a team. And I fully expect them to pull it together in the race. I'm hoping for the best. As we just wait, you know, a little bit Wait for the grid, come out of the pits, get ready for the formation lap. I'm excited. You know, a lot of fast drivers in here. Prison Mike, who was the winner of last week's Mexican Grand Prix, he's super, super fast. Uh, so I'm excited to see what he can do here in Brazil. You know, just a couple, I don't know if it's 100, couple hundred miles south of Mexico City. Um, so I'm excited to see what happens. Raptor P1, Blitz P2. Blitz was looking like he was going to go after that pole position before he ran into traffic. So I'm excited to see what that first turn is like between them. Um, you know, it's just an exciting race. Um, as we start here in just a couple seconds, just waiting for a couple other players. As the formation lap starts, and Raptor goes first. So we're gonna hop on board with the broadcast cam. We're gonna do intervals, tires. So we got all in the top 10 starting on softs, Sid starting on mediums, Snoop starting on mediums, Cole starting on mediums, and Dominman and Buzzgod both starting on mediums. So majority of the grid electing to go on softs. You know, I'm going to preface this by saying that all of these drivers here are much quicker than me. They're better than me at managing tires. All of that. And the predicted pit stop strategy says these softs can last about 13 laps. So I preface that with saying that these guys are better than me at all those things. But I scorched my tires last night within 9 to 10 laps. They were absolutely squealing. They were screaming. And so I don't know. Those softs died off really, really fast for me. And other D3 drivers I talked with, the track temperature was just far too high. They were overheating, and as a result, they died really, really fast. So I am wondering if the softs will pay off, especially for those that started outside the top 10. You know, I'm wishing the best for them, but I really don't know what'll happen in regards to that. As Raptor comes to the line, followed by Gator. I don't know where Blitz is at. Or not Gator. Who is that? Raptor? Yeah, Gator. Blitz is holding up the back. So we're gonna hop on. We're gonna hop on Gator for this one. Hop on the TV pod of Gator. Just as the grid lines up. As the Brazilian Grand Prix of the Division 2 race is about to start. And we're off. Coming into turn 1, Raptor gets a better start than Blitz. But Blitz has the inside line. Who's going to come out on top right here? No contact. Raptor comes out on top. Blitz, there might be a tiny bit of contact right there. Blitz is coming in. He's going to get that slipstream as there's a yellow sector 1. Blitz might get that slipstream from Raptor. He's coming in hot. He's not as Gator. No, wow. Razor gets past them. Gator's still P4. Prison Mike P5. So Blitz in P2 right now. Couldn't get that start off of Raptor. And we're going to hop on board. We're going to hop on board with Alex right now. As he follows the line from P7 to P4. Ranger super, super close to Prison Mike. There's a big train going on right now. As they go into sector... Oh, wow! He's off! Alex is off. He spins off and started the sector 3. He's down to P12 right now. Not what you want to see. As we hop on board with Ranger, coming into back straight. These drivers are going super, super fast. Got to be aggressive on that first lap. As the field, you know, stretches out just a little bit. We got 3 drivers in the pits. Siggy, Snoop Francis, and the Cooler Peter. I'm sure that was the contact we saw in Sector 1 of lap 1. So diving into the pits. So So we're gonna see. We're gonna hop on board with Cushy actually, as Josh Barnsley took a peek on the inside of Zebra right there. It wasn't gonna happen, but he's just trying to see if he can get him to bite. And I feel like he's trying to set it up for this next one, this next sector. He's super, super close to Zebra right here. As there's yellow sector 2. And it's away now, so we should be fine. And right behind that, Ethan Patel going after Cushy. I'm gonna hop on board with that right now. As he goes onto the grass, wow. It didn't work out for him, but he might get the slipstream enough. He just doesn't have that straight line speed. I don't expect a lunge right here. It's too early. Nothing's at stake. As Josh Barnsley and Zebra are still going after it. Cushy, little bobble right there. Ethan Patel might get him on this next straight. As Josh Barnsley going up the inside of Zebra, he backs out of it. Backs out of it right there. I feel like he could have made it right there. Backs out of it, avoids an incident. We're just going to stick on with Josh Barnsley right now. This fight for P8 right now is super, super interesting. As Gator is close to P3 with Razor. Right now, Raptors 2 seconds ahead of Blitz, but 2 to 4, really 2 to 5 is up for grabs right now, as they're all super close to each other. And we're going to see that as Blitz pulls away, Razor, Gator, and Prison Mike follow each other pretty closely. And we're going to see if he can get that slipstream, or if it's just going to be a DRS train. That might turn out, but it's going to be just a DRS train on that one. No passes, as Josh and Zebra going after it still. Josh took it for just a second, but Zebra got ahead right again. Is he going to come back and get it? We're going to find out. He stays on. So Zebra stays on. Josh Barnsley right on his backside, breathing down his neck right now. There's a pretty big gap from P6 to P7. Raptor increasing his lead. Last time I said his name, it was 2 seconds. Now it's 2.2 seconds. Gator P3, Prison Mike P4. As we go in, if we go into the back, as my interval goes out, so we're gonna have to do this by eye. Those guys in the back, they're pretty far off right now. As Claude Peter, nowhere to be seen in this race yet. Sid, next closest guy, looks to be about 3, maybe greater seconds. As we're gonna hop on board with Ranger. Scratch that. Prison Mike, as he closes in on Gator, he's got the speed, got the DRS. He's gonna go along the outside. Is he gonna make it stick? Prison Mike up to P3. Does he make it stick? No, Gator stays ahead. Wow. But no. Wow. Prison Mike ahead eventually. Back and forth right there through Sector 1. As Ranger's looking to strike. And Ranger does strike up into P2, or up into P4, sorry. As they're going to battle it out. Ranger and Gator. The two Williams battling it out in Sector 2 right now. It looks like Ranger's going to win that. Keep ahead. So Prison Mike, he might be within DRS range at this upcoming straight. So we're going to see what he can do. As we're going to go back on board with this Josh Barnsley. So Zebra got ahead of Connor, and Josh Barnsley could not follow. So that battle is over for right now. But it looks like Josh Barnsley's going to come back after this straight past Connor and go right back at Zebra in a second. So we're going to see. He should have DRS. And he does have DRS. They both have DRS. Josh Barnsley's going to go along the outside right there. And look at that. He's already right behind Zebra Strike yet again. Oh, as there's contact between Connor and Zebra Strike. Wow. That's really lucky for Zebra Strike. He didn't get spun towards the wall right there and let Josh Barnsley just straight through. Really lucky there wasn't a bigger incident right there. I don't see how that move was on, but you know, I wasn't the driver in that situation. I wasn't looking at through his eyes. But wow, yeah, that was pretty close. As Connor drops down to P9 from that, Cushy jumps to P8. So now he's in that battle. He's right behind Josh Barnsley. So they're fighting. Those 3 people, 6 through 8, they're fighting right now. Fight of the midfield. As Prison Mike is up within a half second of Blitz. Blitz just has a tiny, slight better exit. Prison Mike will have DRS, so it's going to come down to the setup. Who has less downforce right here? And Prison Mike might make this overtake. It's going to be a little bit of lunge. He backs out of it. He knows he has DRS coming up in this next straight. Why jump there and let him overtake me in a second? He should be able to get DRS again. He should be able to pass him, or at least have a chance to pass him. We might see a Max Lewis overtake right here where they back out or push each other off the edge. As Blitz makes it... No, sorry. Prison Mike makes it stick on Blitz. And so now Prison Mike's just going to go after that 3-second gap of Raptor, who right now is running away with it. And we're going to hop on board with Drip right now, who started the race in P20, who's having a hell of a race so far. He's up with all the other soft runners, 1 through 10, and he's up into P9. So 11 places in 6-7 laps. That's really, really good from the AlphaTauri. And Dominion pitted, and he's still in P18. So overall, you know, better race so far than qualifying for Drip. Unfortunately, Dominion had to pit super early, as did a lot of other drivers. You got Connor pitted early, Speedy pitted early, Snoop pitted early, Siggy pitted over. Bro, all those drivers at the back, they pitted super, super early. And we're 7 laps in on these softs right now. But if you count qualifying for some of them, we're 10 to 12 laps in, depending on how many laps they put on those softs. So those softs are pretty high right now. And you got to expect they're going to come in within the next 3 or 4 laps. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw someone come in within a lap or 2. But those softs, they're not hitting their peak performance like they were at the beginning. And so pretty soon we're going to see a couple drivers dive into the pits, a couple laps time. As we're going to hop on board, with Cushy right now. As Josh Barnsley gets up to P6. Zebra Strike following. These 2 right now are just going back and forth during this race. It was for P8 and P9, and they're slowly moving up together. So now it's 6 and 7. Just out of range for the DRS to really, really work right here. He got closer to set it up in this next DRS zone, but couldn't make the move there. We might see a move here, depending on who gets the better exit. Josh pulling away just a little bit. But Zebra coming up with DRS, he just won't have enough time, not enough distance right here. And Josh isn't going to make a mistake right there. But Zebra gets a really good exit right there, despite Josh's dirty air all over him. And if he can keep this up, right in his tail like that, despite the dirty air, then we might see an overtake down into turn 1. As we're going to stay on board with him right now. They're having a hell of a battle. 10 laps into this race, 9 laps into this race. These 2 are just going back and forth. Really, really exciting to see. Great drivers, both of them. And that's just what Division 2 is, just great drivers. As Josh gets a better exit again, we're going to see if Zebra Strike has the capability to get... It may be the same story as last time, but Zebra's closing in way better this time. He's still going to have to set it up on this next DRS zone if he can stick to his tail like last time. Take in the dirty air, brush it off, get a better exit out of here right now, and just hope. The DRSC, that dirty air, he's just not getting the speed out of those corners that he needs. But he did get the speed out of that corner. He's not gonna make a move right there, and he actually goes a little bit wide, loses a lot of time right there. He's gonna have to make a little bit of time up. You know, he's right on his tail. He for the most part made it up already, but you know, you just don't want to go wide right there. But we're gonna see if we can force Josh Barnsley into a mistake. These are the closest fight right now. But Ranger and Blitz, they're going to be battling for P3 in a second. And we're going to hop on board with them after this straight. As Zebra goes really wide, lucky not to get on the grass. He's going to dive into the pits. So we're going to hop on board with Ranger right now. Prison Mike. Just a couple seconds above. We're going to hop on board with Gator. Nah, they're decently spaced out right now. So we are going to hop back on board with Zebra Strike. See where he comes out on the pits. He was running in P7, I believe. So we're going to see where he comes out. And he's going to come out possibly battling. No. So he comes out P10, right ahead of Razor, who's on 5 lap old mediums. As Drip just picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's very easy to cut just a little corner, go a little wide on this track, especially with 10, effectively 13 lap old softs. So, you know, I expect to see that as Sid is up into P8 on 10 lap old mediums. So he'll go longer than the medium tire runners. And we'll see if that works out for him, as Drip is up into P7. But again, with that 3-second time penalty, as Josh Barnsley dives into the pits, we're going to see where he ends up. Gator coming on Ranger right now with the DRS. He should be able to make this pass right in this DRS straight. And he does. You just got to hope he doesn't go wide. And he makes it stick. So Gator back into P3. A couple laps ago, Ranger took it from him. He takes it right back. And the fight to Prison Mike is back on. Right now, Raptor running away with it. 3.2 seconds ahead. Seems like every time I look at his name, he's just a 10th ahead again. And so, yeah, these soft tire runners, they're coming into the pits. As Josh Barnsley ended up behind Zebra Strike. But he's going to come right back. And these two are going to be battling till the end, bar unforeseen circumstance. As Ethan Patel is up to P15 on 4 lap old mediums. Drip came out on the pits on new softs in P12. So he's going to go for a soft medium strategy. It's not a terrible strategy by any means. But, you know, starting from the back, I personally would have elected for a medium soft. As Josh Barnsley gets disconnected. And that's just not what you want to see. Though I may have jinxed him again. That's one of those unforeseen circumstances you just can't account for. You know, him and Zebra are having a great battle with one another. And then, unfortunately, Cody's just decides to give him the middle finger until he tells Josh, sit the fuck down. And we just don't want to have that. You know, it ruins the game. Because now, you know, Josh was within 3/10. Now he's almost 2 seconds back. And I hope it doesn't ruin his race anymore, but I'm just gutted for him. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. As Alex comes into, he may get in within DRS range. A Drip coming on this back straight. Both of them are on very, very new tires. Drip is on brand new softs. Alex on brand new mediums. So Drip should have more traction, more grip, more speed. Along with the dirty air that Alex has, he should very cleanly be able to defend him. As Prison Mike goes into the pits, he's going to come out. He's going to come out behind Blitz. So wow, Ranger's up in. So Raptor and Ranger still haven't pitted. Prison Mike comes out behind Gator, which is huge. So Gator just pulled off undercut of the year, I believe. As Raptor was in P1, Prison Mike was in P2, and Ranger and Gator were fighting each other to chase after Prison Mike. And Prison Mike comes out behind Gator and Sid. As Sid just gets out of the way right there. Wow. Undercut really, really powerful here. As Gator just easily gets Prison Mike. Yeah, as my interval's out right now, except for Dominion and Siggy, we can hop on board with them just for a little bit. As Dominions closing in on Snoop Francis, and Siggy is losing it on the grass. Oh, letting Cooler Peter go by. That was for position. I don't really know why he did that. As some of our intervals come back, we're gonna hop on board with Josh Barnsley. Yep, he's back in the race, but 3 seconds away from Zebra Strike. And you know, these guys have been pretty evenly matched. As I say that as he just dropped 7/10 on him, they've been pretty evenly matched. And so you don't want to see someone get kicked out and thrown 3 seconds away from someone you're right next to. It's just ridiculous. As he's within 2.7 seconds now on relatively fresh, not relatively, pretty fresh mediums. And we're going to see how long Raptor and Ranger are going to hold out for. I wonder if they're going to go for the one-stop soft to mediums instead of soft to hards. That's the only... I mean, you can make mediums last 20 laps, but it's not going to feel good. You don't want to do that. As BuzzGod goes in for fresh hards, he's going for the one-stop. A lot of these guys going for the one-stop. Cooler Peter is as well. Cushy is as well. And these medium runners are getting up there as well. As Sid is up to 15 laps. Prison Mike, oh, Ranger went into the pits, and he goes onto the hards. I don't know if he stayed out there a little bit too long, or if it was just the right time. We'll see, as these medium compound runners do most likely have to pit again unless they really, really stretch their tires. And Raptor is at an 19 second gap to P2 already. But he is on 15 lap old softs. These guys are on relatively new mediums behind him. As we're going to stick on board with Drip, who's right behind Cushy, who I said earlier was on the one stop. And Drip has fresh softs, so he should be able to get past Cushy down this back straightaway with the DRS. It shouldn't be too big of a hassle unless either driver messes up. But I fully expect Drip to make this overtake down this straightaway. As Josh is back in within 1.7 seconds of Zebra Strike, I'm excited for that battle to return. And Drip goes along the outside as BuzzGod picks up a 3-second penalty. Drip goes along the outside quite easily over Cushy. He's got the better traction, better speed, better tire. He's going to easily make that. And Drip is back into P11. He's still got a stop to go, whereas Cushy doesn't, so he's really got to start building that lead now. And Ranger up into P8, right behind Josh Barnsley. And I wonder if Ranger passes Josh, if Josh is just going to let him just tuck behind him, get that DRS so he can catch back up to Zebra. But Josh may fight this. He is on slightly fresher, like Ranger is on slightly fresher tires, but they are hards. And Josh is only on 4 lap. Sector 2 and Sector 3, there's a yellow flag. So I don't know what that's about. I'm going to go back onto Josh. And it went away pretty fast. So far, so clean. No safety cars yet. In the Division 3 race, we had about 4 safety cars by lap 12. And the safety car restarts were very dangerous. So all around, compared to the Division 3 race, this is cleaner, faster, and I don't want to say all around better. Oh, as Siggy retires, I may have jinxed him offhandedly. I told him I wanted to have him good race, and I just talked about how the Division 3 last night was not very clean. A lot of DNFs, a lot of safety cars, and the Division 3 driver, the Division 3 championship leader, DNFs on lap 18, and there's a safety car. You really can't time this better. You know, that's just bizarre. And I think the person this really helps, I mean, Raptor is on another level right now, but, you know, he pitted, he got into P2, and this is just going to bring him even closer. And I think Raptor's going for the one stop. Blitz does have to pit again unless he really holds out. This really helps Raptor, really helps Gator. Sid, I expect to dive into the pits here with 17-lap-old softs, but he may be electing to go for a one-stop. So he may be going for the one-stop if you see if he can stretch these out. Oh, nope, he's gonna dive in the pits. I think that's the wise decision right there. It's Josh Barnsley up into P3. Zebra Strike pitted. A lot of people in the pits right now. A lot of people in the pits. Alex in the pits. Speedy in the pits. Deminman, let's see what he ends up doing. He's running in Sector 3 right now. Siggy leaves the session. Says, I'm tired of this. I've had enough. Yeah, so safety car's out. Fortunately, I didn't see the incident. I just know Siggy was involved. As Deminman looks like he has quite a bit of damage there on his right side. I don't know if that's just damage or if AlphaTauri decided to give their cars a bit edgier look. But he was quite far behind. He's catching up to the safety car. We're gonna hop on board with Prison Mike, who's up into P2 as someone goes on the grass there. Oh, wow! As Blitz. Wow, Blitz just hits Gator in the back, loses his front wing. He's gonna have to pit again. He got a massive penalty for that. Hopefully Gator didn't get any rear damage. Stewards are definitely gonna look at that, see what was going on right there. So this safety car may go on longer than expected as there's way more debris out on track. And so that may take Blitz out of the fight for not just the lead, but a podium. As he's down, he's gonna be down into P something, P14 maybe. As we're gonna hop on board with him, see where he ends up. He's got to put on another front wing. He's gonna end up behind Ethan, I believe. Way behind Ethan. So yeah, that absolutely ruined Blitz's race. Still 16 laps to go, but I mean, he's gonna end up in P13. Just not what you wanted to see. His Rip drives back to the pits. He's gonna go to the end on those new mediums as the Deminman is back. So the two AlphaTauri are together, 14, 15. Raptors running in P1, Prison Mike P2, Josh Barnsley in P3, Gator in P4, Sid in P5, Zebra Strike, Ranger, Razor, Connor, and Cushy finish out the top 10. Trying to fight for points finish. Well, you get a points finish if you finish the race, but trying to fight for a top 10 position is Alex, Speedy, and now Blitz. As he just retires from the session, maybe he had way too much damage. He said it's just not worth it driving on this. It's too hard. I'm a danger to other drivers if I drive with this much damage. And so he just decides to retire the session. And that crash just ruined his race. Not what you want to see. So we got two retired drivers out right now with Siggy and Blitz. So we got an 18-man grid right now. And we're just, got to keep those tires warm. We're on board with Ethan Patel right now. Keeping those tires warm for the safety car restart. Hoping for a good restart. Trying to jump Alex and Cushy. Trying to get in that P10 position. As Zebra elects, he likes to go on new hards. Which, with 16 laps to go, I don't know if he just didn't have a new set of mediums. And the hards were the freshest that he had. But if he had a fresh set of mediums, I don't see why he wouldn't have pitted onto those. It's similar to what Ethan Patel did in Mexico last week. He pitted the hards, and for a minute it looked. At first we were doubting it, and for a minute it looked like it may have worked out. But when those soft compound runners came knocking on the door, there's just nothing you can do, except get out of their way because they're much faster than you. And I hope that's just not the case for Zebra. But he's got a lot of softer compound runners right behind him. And we'll see what he can do. As Sid is on the softs, he's going to go for a soft or medium soft strategy, sorry. Safety car is coming in this lap, so we're going to hop on board with Josh Barnsley, actually, as he is in P3 effectively. There's a back marker between them. And we're going to see Raptor off the line as he goes off. And there's a car between them. So super, super lucky from Raptor. And absolutely no one to challenge him on the safety car restart. As Josh Barnsley jumps Prison Mike on turn 1 from the safety car restart. It got a much better launch. Of course, Prison Mike was right behind that back marker. Was basically a passenger, couldn't accelerate. As there's a lot of battles going on in the back. Raptor with a perfect finish. Just wow. Or perfect start, perfect safety car restart. As we see, Ranger is going to try to attack Zebra Strike right here. That safety car bunch all the drivers back together. They were a little bit spread out. Now they're all back. And they had some great racing in the first couple laps when they were all close together. I'm hoping to see the same right here. As we see Zebra just trying to get back in range of Gator. And we're gonna hop on board with Ethan Patel, who's just in the midfield right now, looking to strike on Alex. A lot of drivers looking to strike. Ethan Patel is on his ass, breathing down his neck. We're gonna go for DRS right here, or no, not DRS yet. My mistake. Opens 2 laps, I believe, after the safety car. He may get the slipstream though, as there's a lot of drivers. I believe that is P9 fighting Cushy and Connor. And we're gonna hop back on board with Sid, who's on fresh softs, trying to attack Prison Mike, and he does. So Prison Mike went from P2 to P4 on the safety car restart. Very poor restart from him. Of course, Raptors are already up to 3-second lead on P2. Josh Barnsley, who has to pit again. And so Zebra Strike on those hard. Josh Barnsley, they may end up fighting again later down this race. We're going to hop on board with Ranger, who's still right behind Zebra Strike. It's the closest battle right now. And we're going to see what he can do. Oh, as Zebra Strike loses it. Ethan Patel gets 3-second penalty. Zebra Strike loses it right there. Let's see where he comes out. He's going to come out in P16. So, wow. Not what you wanted to see at all. Just a little too early on the throttle coming out on, I believe that's turn 14. A little too early on the throttle, especially on those hards. They just don't have the grip. And that's what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if the hards... Oh, as Ethan Patel maybe slightly nudges. Is he going to go around Drip right there, coming after Snoop Francis? But I don't know if those hards were worth it. You lose a lot of grip. You lose a lot of speed. And right there, he just couldn't get on the power early enough. And Ethan Patel showcasing what the softs can do right there. Softer compound tires. As he just out-tractions Alex up into P10 like he was hoping for on the safety car restart. He's going to get P9 as Alex is no longer in the session. Or sorry, I believe this is Cole, not Ethan. And unless Alex's AI just goes into party mode, then we'll have a Red Bull 1011, which is a lot different from real life. The 2 and 4s that they experienced today. As Alex is back, so I expect him, he takes control right back, and his AI sets the fastest lap. So, and he pauses again. I don't know. I like it. His AI obviously did turn it on to party mode. His engine was roaring. And so we're gonna hop back on to Josh Barnsley, who's down to P3 right now. And Prison Mike up to P4. Gator right behind him. Gator might get that place back. He's right on his tail, breathing down his neck, as I like to say. Zebra Strike picks up a 3-second penalty. Not what you need to see after you spin out. So Zebra Strike, who's having a great race so far, down into P15. Dominion splitting the Alpha Towers of Dominion and Drip. Drip is on brand new softs. He's going to stick those to the end. And Drip was running up pretty high. Race didn't I'm not going to say it fell apart. He's still got a lot of places to make up, but he was definitely in a good position. As Gator coming after Prison Mike, he has DRS. Is he going to make it stick, though? As they fight. Yes, and Gator comes out on top of Prison Mike so far, but Prison Mike should have DRS for this next straight, and he may have to just give it right back. As we see Gator, he's coming along. Yep, Gator's right in front. Back into P3. So this may be a new back and forth. As Josh Barnsley pitted and ended up in P15. And he's going on the mediums as well. With 10 laps to go, maybe he doesn't have a fresh set of softs. He may have used them during qualifying. But with 10 laps to go, you would prefer to be on brand new softs as opposed to brand new mediums. But wow, you know, despite Zebra Strike's spin, it's inevitable. The Josh Barnsley and Zebra Strike fight are inevitable, as Josh Barnsley is coming up on the Zebra Strike, who is on hards. It's just, we're going to hop on board with Speed right now, who's coming after Connor. And there's a big battle of the midfield right there. I believe that's 8, 7, 6, 5. 5 through 10, relatively close together. Anything could happen here. Any of those drivers could get any of these positions. And we're going to hop on board with Ranger, as he hopes to get P5. Ranger's doing a little bit of weaving right there. Is he going to go? He dives along the inside, makes it stick so far. As those two are going to come right back at each other. There's a back marker in between them. And we're going to hop on board with Cushy, just right behind his teammate. Just trying to tuck in right behind him and just follow him through. Sid up into P2. I think he'll have to pit again, but Sid is very, very good at managing his tires. I wouldn't be surprised if he made these last 16, 15, 16, 17 laps, but I do think they would be hurting really, really bad. As we see Cushy losing a little bit of time to his teammate right there. His teammate getting in within DRS range of Ranger. Sorry, I can't speak right there. Wow, and Ranger, just king of the late breakers right there. Pulls ahead. Ranger gets a little bit of dirty air from, I think, both Buzzcod and Ranger. But he's going to get DRS again. And he's just going to stick right behind him. Hope for the next lap. But they're going to stick really close together, as Speedy is already up into P8. So the Red Bull 8-11 right now. Followed by the sister team, AlphaTauri 15-16. It's bizarre. We're going to hop on board with Razor again, as he's coming in within DRS range of Ranger. A lot of R names in this division too. Raptor, Ranger, Razor. Getting confused sometimes. So Ranger goes a little bit wide right there. He may have touched grass, and that's going to allow Razor to have a much better exit as he comes along, and he's just going to fly in, and he's going to make it stick as he's got him in the back. Ranger will have DRS, but will it be enough? That is the question. It's not going to be enough, as Josh Barnsley picks up a 3-second time penalty. So fastest lap right now is Alex's AI still. Cooler Peter picks up a time penalty. As Sid is up 9 positions from his start, Cushy up 10. Dominman and Drip, they're up 4, but they did start at the back. So a lot of big gains and big losses from a lot of these drivers. So up 10 and minus 10 all over the place. Penalties, Zebra Strike and Josh Barnsley both have 3-second penalties. So their fate is sealed together, as Drip picks up another 3-second penalty. So he has 6 seconds of penalties. So if we look at the stops, Drip, that's why I don't know if he was involved with an incident, but he's running up in the top 10. And then if you look at the top 10, he's got 3 more stops than a couple of them. And you just can't have that if you're expecting a top 10 finish. And I'm sure a lot of that was out of his control. There's a lot of things you just can't help in this league. That's racing. You know, you move on, you compartmentalize it, move on to the next race, and do the best you can. We're gonna hop on board with Prison Mike right now. A lot of people are close together. Ranger within half a second, Cushy within a second, Speedy within half a second. And we're gonna see what he can do down on this straight. If he can get ahead of Cushy and get in this Razor Ranger battle. And I believe he can. We're going to see the exit differences. You know, they're on the exact same tire. It's going to come down to skill and setup right here. And, you know, there's just a little bit of a DRS train going on right there. With Cushy having the DRS, it's just hard to get close to him. As there's a little bit of a fight between Ranger and Razor right there. And we're going to see what they can do as Razor is coming on with DRS against Ranger. Ranger weaving like crazy. You're only allowed 1 weave. Kind of dangerous. As he makes it, does he make it stick? As he goes to the outside, pushes him a little outside. But he makes it stick. Razor gets ahead of Ranger, pushes him outside. Gator picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Cushy is right behind Ranger. And Ranger is right behind Razor. Speedy right behind Cushy. The pack is tight right now. As Zebra picks up another 3-second penalty. If any of these guys slip up, they're going to lose 3-4 positions off rip. So right now you got to be dialed in. Last final laps, you got to be dialed in. No mistakes. You're telling your engineer, telling your team right now, you're telling me, shut up, I need to concentrate. Because I'm dialed in. I'm trying to go, if you're Speedy, you're trying to go from P8 to P5 in 5 laps. Which is doable. As we see, Ranger takes the lead back, or not the lead, but the lead for P5 back from Razor. As the lead of Raptor, of course. Hasn't gotten much airtime. We'll give him a little bit right now. You know, he's just in a race of his own right now, category of his own. And we're going to hop back on as they get DRS. And yeah, Razor takes it back. And wow, those drivers are just so close right now. Yeah, the battle for the midfield has been exciting all day. We had Josh and Zebra, who are unfortunately now P13 and P14. We had them fighting for P78, P56. Exciting battles. Now we got Razor, Ranger, Cushy, and Speedy, all for an awesome battle from P5 to P8. And Connor's in the back of that as well. As more and more drivers come in close to that, this battle for the midfield is just awesome. It's just exactly what you want to see. And like I said, Sid is on 12 lap-old softs. He's great at managing his tires. They're screaming right now. And if you're a Gator, you're trying to dial in and catch up on these softs that are dying hard. You're also on 13 lap-old mediums, but that's a lot easier to manage than the softs. As Ranger gets out ahead, tries to make it stick. He has the traction right now. Could he pick up 3-second time penalty? Razor's going to come back on this DRS straight. Is he going to have the capability? He's going to go along the inside right here. Oh, he's going to pretend to go along the inside, trying to make him bite. Move wasn't on right there. But that's all right. We're going to hop on board with Snoop Francis, who is he's right behind Cole. Couldn't make a stick as Cole's up into P9 now. He's up in P11 for a little bit. So now, both Red Bulls, 8-9, both in the top 10. That's what you want to see if you're the Red Bull fan. If you're a Red Bull fan, you know, they've been outside the top 10 all race, but right when it counts, final 4 laps, they're back together. We're going to hop back on board with Razor. See if he can get a better exit. I don't think he will this time. But I may have just jinxed Ranger and given him a curse. I don't know. I've been doing that a lot this broadcast. Doesn't get too much slipstream. He's setting up for this next DRS straight. Ranger locks up a little bit. That might give Razor the ability to have a better exit. It doesn't really. Ranger, despite the lockup, pushes out way faster despite having the exact same tire. And Ranger may be able to hold off. He holds off for this DR straight, but he may be able to hold off for the race if Razor just cooked his tires too much. As we see Zebra and Snoop fighting as Josh Barnsley gets up into P11. And Zebra on those, still on those oldish hards. Those hards just aren't the race tire you want to be on. But yeah. And Raptor cruising right now. 5.5 seconds ahead of Sid. And we got Sid in P2. Gator P3. Gator was within DRS range a couple laps ago. More like a lap ago. He was 2 seconds away. But Sid's tires are dying off fast. And he's within DRS range for this next straight. Sid's got 2 laps to go. He's just praying, I gotta hold on. I gotta hold on. So we're going to stick on board with him right now. It's the battle for P2 as Raptor has just run away with this victory. He doesn't get within DRS range on this one, but he's not trying to. He's going to try to make a move on this final lap. And Sid is just holding on with those tires. 15 lap old softs. They've got to be screaming. But when you're good at managing tires like Sid is, you just don't know. They may be at 40% right now. It's hard to tell with the driver that good. As the fight for the midfield, 6, 5 through 10 is still on. We're on with Gator and Sid right now. And I feel like Gator might have a slightly better exit, but Sid pulls away pretty quick. Gator's going to have DRS though. And Sid's going to have to defend right here. He's not going to have the traction to outbrake, I don't think. So Gator's going to set it up on this next DRS straight. He's got to, I mean, this is really his last chance. As Gator gets a better exit down the Senna S's right there. And he's going to have DRS. Sid's going to have a crazy defense. The DRS, well, oh, he looked at it. Had a really great long look at it, but it just wasn't meant to be. But he's going to have better traction out right here in Sector 2. Sid is blinking. No ERS for, I assume, both of the drivers right now. There's a little bit of lockup on Sid, and that you don't want to lock up when your tires are that dead. Adding insult to injury. As Gator's just on his tail. It's going to be a fight to the finish line right here. Wow, this is going to turn out to be exciting. As Raptor is coming to the line. Oh, Raptor's going to come to the line and finish. Raptor finishes the race in P1. Sid, the battle for P2 right here as Sid is inching the line. Gator right there. Gator makes the move in the final 3 seconds of the race to pass Sid on lap 36 of lap 36. Both on 17-year-old tires. Gator on the mediums. Sid on the softs. He nursed him as long as he could, but it just wasn't meant to be. Great move by Gator at the end. Great timing by Gator at the end. You know, a lap later, and that's just, you know, it's not possible. So a great race from the drivers out there, and I'm hoping for some interviews. Raptor P1, Gator P2, Sid P3, Prison Mike P4. He was up into P2 at one point for a good chunk of the race. Unfortunate that he couldn't get a podium position. And then a great battle of the midfield from P5 to P10. You got Raptor, Razor, Cushy, Speedy, Alex, Cole. Snoop was in there at one point. Josh Barnsley and Zebra Strike had a great battle. Had great battles throughout the race, whether they were in P5 and P6 or P15 and P16. So great battles from them, and just great job. And we're gonna hop in for some interviews right now. So it's gonna be, we're gonna have Raptor and Gator interviews. Yeah, great race. We're gonna pull in Sid first. Sid, what up, man?
Hey, that was a fun race.
Yeah, I mean, your tires at the end, you got past the very end, but what? Tell me about those tires at the end. Were they screaming as much as I think they were?
Yes, definitely. It was tough to keep it on track.
Well, I was just thoroughly impressed. Like 17 lap old softs, like keeping not alone keeping on my track, but keeping them P2 is just super super impressive. Um,
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened at the end because he had a 3 second penalty and I got passed on track, but I don't know if the game applied the penalty or not. I'm not sure.
and you may be able to add. There may be something with this that this is like a steward decision. So you may get
Yeah,
P2 in the end, but that was just an awesome race. It was an awesome drive. Because you started the race. What was it? P10 in that
yeah, it
area?
was 11th because
Yeah,
I was actually glad to start 11th and not 10th, so I could get my medium tires at
your
the
new
start.
mediums. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, just mega drive. I feel like we say that every week. Like even when you were in D3 and you're kicking all our butts, it's just a mega drive from Sid. So like once again, you're doing great. Super consistent, super fast. It's just awesome to watch.
thanks, man.
All right, well, that was it. Great race. I'm looking forward to interviewing you next week.
Yep, hopefully I'll be up here next week as well. See ya.
So yeah, we're gonna pull in Gator next. Gator, are you here? Can you hear me? All right, we're gonna let Gator situate himself out real fast. We're gonna pull in Raptor. Raptor, what up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. You didn't get a lot of screen time, but that's just because you ran away with it. You were ahead virtually the entire race. I think you were in P2 for like 5 seconds after a pit stop, but you ran away with it. So, how are you feeling?
Good. It's first race with the new steering wheel, so it's a lot more consistent. So
It just felt a whole lot better.
yeah, everything just felt better, and it's a lot easier to push without fearing that you're just gonna spin out, because it's a lot easier to catch, oversteers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious. You were literally on like a completely other level than everyone else. Like
Yeah, I
every
mean, Sid almost. I'm not sure how he got on the softs, but he was catching me at the end there. But I just had to maintain a gap until his softs were off. So, and after that, it was
just smooth
uh,
sailing to the end after
smooth
that.
sailing. Yep. Yep.
Were you worried
Uh,
at any point in the race about anything?
I mean, yeah, the top guys, I think like everyone in the top 10 was really close. So, um, I know my qualifying lap was pretty good. So, but I also knew like the next 5 people were also had really good pace. So
Yeah.
I had to fight really hard, especially in the first 10 laps to build that gap and maintain it. So,
Well, you did a great job. I'm excited to see you race. Um, so yeah, just great job, man.
yeah, thanks, man.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Gator says he's having mic issues. Um, so we won't be able to interview him. Unfortunately, I can drag him in. He said his mic's not working. Um, so he can hear me. So I'm gonna ask him some questions, and he'll type them out to me, and we'll see how that goes. So Gator, if you can hear me, I just want to see, how is that race from your perspective? Um, was it as tense on track as it was in the broadcast? And he's typing right now. Um, so we just gotta be patient for a little bit as we wait for Gator to catch up. And I'll just give you a little rundown as Raptor just dominated that race start to finish. We had excitement with Siggy bending it into the wall. Well, I don't know if it was a wall. I'm assuming it was. As Gator says, it was it was super tense, mostly when I was fighting Mike. Yeah, Mike had some crazy battles with you. And, fortunately, you pulled out at the end. You pulled away from both Mike and Sid. You super close to the line. What are your thoughts on that finish? What was your thought process going through, seeing that Sid had super super old softs and you were on old mediums? But what was your thought process through that? So yeah, Siggy Bendit. I believe Blitz was the other person who was up in a good position. He just banged some. I believe it was Zebra. I want to say. I don't know for certain. He hit someone in the back during a safety car. He got out. Gator says, I had a penalty, so I knew Sid would finish ahead of me, but he wanted to finish on track, and that's just that racer instinct, really. You know, you want to finish on track. It's just what you want to do. And we're gonna, after Gator's typing right now, and after this, we're gonna go ahead and finish up the interviews. Great race from all the drivers, but especially Sid, Gator, and Raptor. They were flying out there. Awesome racing from everybody. And he says he wanted to go for it because why not? He saw the opportunity, had to try. So yeah, we appreciate you, Gator. Appreciate your time. Appreciate Raptor. Appreciate Sid. And we'll see y'all later. So yeah, that was the Brazilian Grand Prix for the Division 2 race. Super exciting. Great racing from all the drivers. And we'll see you next time. Next week in Belgium, I believe.